Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of my video blog where I smoke pipes and talk about data and leadership. Today we're gonna talk about remote work. Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about remote work. Why did we go remote at some time and why are some companies switching back? I remember myself saying remote work is nothing for me. I have kids, I have dogs, different hobbies. I'm not the most structured and organized person. So I spent years on the assumption that working from home doesn't work for me. I thought I need this clear separation. Home is home and work happens in the office. Even when companies I worked for offered this as an option, I never took working from home. And then something happened which changed everyone's lives forever. COVID. Suddenly, almost overnight, we were all fully remote. Back then, my wife and myself shared a small flat in Munich. We had no space. We didn't have a good office setup. It was quite challenging. But the real challenge was not space. It was communication. Many things which felt natural and normal at the office didn't happen. No water cooler conversation, no looking over the open space office and seeing what's going on here and there. Suddenly, we needed to learn to write things down, to communicate asynchronously, to accept the fact that our colleague can get some information and act on it at a different point in time. People are different. I always worked with developers who, some of them prefer to jump into a quick call and quickly talk things through, and others were expecting long and detailed specifications from product or business. Those are preferences, right? But now we had to align synchronous versus asynchronous, documenting and writing things down versus jumping on a quick call. Suddenly, we had multiple channels. I remember juggling Slack, emails, Google Docs, Jira comments, GitHub comments. Also, most companies didn't have clear policy when to use what. What I was also missing a lot was normal chat in the office, gossips, talking about football, talking about kids. And some people used to say it's waste of time. Some people used to say it's not working, it's just chatting. But I do believe that it's an integral part of our work. We are social animals. We need to build relationships. We need to communicate. That's part of the game. And I was desperately missing this part. So even if some call it not work, I actually disagree. I think it's essential. It's a glue for collaboration. Judging on my own experience and some friends I spoke to, everyone was observing the same. Strong teams which had established communication channels, which had established relationships, which went through challenging times together, they adopted. If communication went smoothly in the office, normally it just translated to a remote setup. But teams which already had some issues, teams which already struggled, normally those problems escalated. For me personally, things changed when I moved to Berlin. It was still COVID. It was still full-time working from home. Suddenly, I had more space. I had a dedicated room, so I could go in, close the door. I was in a working mode, and this changed. Suddenly, it didn't feel as a burden anymore, but more as a blessing, because I was free to decide when I work and when I make breaks. I had a small child back then, and having this flexibility was crucial to be able to help my wife and take care of the family. So it was my own responsibility to deliver the results, but it was not bound to 9 to 6 in the office anymore. So the benefits are obvious. You have work-life integration. You shift the mindset of your stakeholders towards results, because it doesn't really matter when you do the work. They should judge on the outcomes. And a bonus on top, global hiring. Suddenly, I could hire for my teams almost everywhere. The only limit was the time zone. And it was a win-win for candidates and for companies, because huge talent pool, flexibility, working from anywhere. Existing team members, for example, who originated from overseas could go home for a few months and spend time with their families while being effective in work. They didn't need vacation for that anymore. So I think many obvious advantages are there. The question is why many companies nowadays insist on getting people back to the office, at least in a hybrid mode or in some cases as a full-time working from the office. I personally see at least three possible reasons. First and foremost, it's just a lack of trust in your own people. It's an illusion of control. If everyone is in the office, we can see they are here, so they probably do something meaningful. Sometimes it's sunk cost fallacy. We are paying for the office, so we need to utilize it. And I also don't think it's a valid reason. And sometimes it's just a way to do passive layoffs. Fortunately, some companies want people to leave, and that's maybe their tool to make them leave. So my personal preference is obvious. Let people choose. People are different, so everyone who wants to work fully remote should be able to do it. Many people prefer to come to the office from time to time, and that's also totally fine. If you have a possibility, if you have on-site locations, or for somebody who prefers to do it fully from the office, that's also great. So ideally, I think you should give this flexibility, support all modes equally, build strong culture, online or offline, doesn't really matter. Summarizing, I think remote work is not a trend. It's here to stay. Probably smart companies will adopt, otherwise they're limiting themselves on the job market. If I hear about a requirement to be on site most of the time, I would question this. I would try to understand why. There might be some valid reasons. Otherwise, that's definitely not my personal preference. I'm very curious to hear how you personally and your teams are dealing with remote work. So please share your experiences in comments, share this episode, follow me on LinkedIn, and see you in next episodes from another place. Thanks for watching. I hope it was useful. See you in the next episode.